In today's video, I'm going to share with you everything you need to know to make a lot of money, to scale your business while maintaining beautiful relationships and living the life of your dreams without burning yourself out in the process, without destroying your health in the process. Because I see it happen all the time in the thousands of people that I've coached to this point. Entrepreneurs, business owners, not realizing some of these underlying energetic dynamics that turns into them sacrificing their relationships to pursue this thing, this external success. And they realize, what's the point? What's the point of all this money? If I have no friends, I'm tired, I'm burnt out, can't enjoy life like that. If you're new to my channel, my name is Jordan Cowlish. I'm a men's relationship coach. I'm right here in Costa Rica right now. I've been traveling the world for the last 3 years. I've made over $1 million in my coaching business. I've been coaching for the last 6 years. My content reaches 10 to 20 million people every single month. And the thing I'm most proud of, most grateful for, is that I've been in a 10-year relationship with my partner, Amanda, who I met when I was 21. And all the people that are around me whose relationships were falling apart and they just weren't able to sustain their connection, my relationship with my partner has gotten stronger the longer I've been in business. But it's not been without the ups and downs. It's not been without the struggles, the failures, and the setbacks, and the moments where I almost thought I'd fucked it all up. And today in this video, I'm going to show you all these lessons that I've learned along the way to hopefully save you a lot of the mistakes or the relationship, or hopefully save you or actually give you some shortcuts along the way. And this is the work that I do now with clients who come to me who are running big businesses, who are looking to scale and also deepen their relationships too. So if you're interested in getting some support with those things, just check out the link in the description. But the first area that is crucial as an entrepreneur or business owner as you're scaling is to understand the place that you're operating from, the underlying energy from your actions. Okay, this is key, because so many of us who've gone into business, there was a part of you that was born. There was this overachiever part of you that was born to prove something in the world in compensation for a sense of lack, in compensation for a sense of shame, abandonment that occurred at some point growing up due to an absent parent or a parent that put you down or gave you conditional love. Usually that's the birth of this identity that says, I'm going to go out into the world and prove to you that I'm good enough. I'm going to prove to you that I'm worthy of love. And the you is either your mom or your dad or someone else, right? Some sort of caregiver. So we have this persona or this protector part that's born to avoid feeling the shame, to avoid feeling the failure that is associated with this lack of love that you received in some critical moments growing up. So that is why entrepreneurs are so driven. They've got this drive to want to get things done, which is beautiful. And I want you to celebrate in yourself if you've got that as well, because I have that, this insatiable drive to want to get after it. But early on in the journey for me, I realized that this drive that I had would sometimes lead me to burnout. It would sometimes lead me to compromise myself, to deplete myself, to forego what was best for me because I was so fixated on this thing. What I soon realized was that this part of me would sometimes come to the surface when I was running from something, when I was afraid of feeling something. Those underlying feelings, like I said, which is associated with me letting people down, failing, shame, anxiety. My way of coping with that or avoiding that was to do more, achieve more. I played semi-professional soccer growing up. I studied as finance and accounting at school. I got the degree. I got the job as an accountant at one of the best firms in the world. I was getting paid to play soccer. I had all the things on paper that would say, you're doing a great job. You're successful, Jordan. But underneath, I was so anxious. I was so tense. I was so shy. I was afraid. I didn't have confidence because of some of these underlying patterns that are showing up underneath the surface. This overachiever in me was masking me from the lack of worthiness that I felt. It was masking the lack of love that I felt inside of me. So fast forward 3 or 4 years later when I started my business and I found myself just like working all the fucking time, burning myself out, trying to prove to whoever that I was better, I could run this online business instead of being in the corporate world. I just kept getting burnt out. Couldn't understand why. Until one day I had this coach give me a session. She slowed me down. She got me into my body and she helped me understand that there was this judging part of me, this part of me that was always judging my performance when I wasn't seeing results or I didn't perform very well. This judging part said, see, you're not good enough. See, you're a failure. See, you're not doing enough. And this judging part of me was constantly interpreting It was constantly evaluating and placing meaning on my emotional experience. So when I felt tired, it was, you're not doing enough. See, you're failing. See, you're lazy, right? And a lot of this came from my dad's conditioning. I don't know if you're an entrepreneur, you're resonating with this right now. And as I started to see my entanglement with these parts of me that I had identified with, it was creating this spiral of resistance and heaviness and tension, which was blocking my authenticity from coming through. It was blocking me from actually expressing my creative gifts out into the world. And as this coach disentangled me from all these parts that were operating on the surface, she got me to sit with and be with this little inner child of me, this inner child that was back there, that was feeling tired, exhausted, was tired of having to prove himself to the world. The moment I got to meet that version of me and look him in the eye and say, hey, you know what, man, I see you. You're doing enough. Like, it's okay to feel tired. It's okay to feel anxiety. That doesn't mean you're not worthy. You're still fucking worthy in this moment. I see you. I feel you. I got you. I got you. The moment I connected with that source frequency, that part of me that was always worthy, that was always enough, that was always provided for, that was always chosen, that was always loved. The moment I connected with that part of me and disentangled from these old protective patterns, I could breathe again. I realized what I was trying to achieve and what I was trying to get, I already had it. You know, that love that I was trying to prove my worthiness to through the lack of love from dad growing up, I actually got to give that to myself. And that every time now I notice myself get overwhelmed or get anxious, and when that judge had tried to kick in and tell me I wasn't doing enough, that was my sign to go, hey, you know what? I know this pattern. Let me just step back for a moment. Let me clear the signal. Let me clear the noise. Let me unwind the nervous system so I can be present with the truth and allow this energy from the past to liberate from the body. And that genuinely looked like creating space in my life. There was a period in my business where I said, I'm not going to fill the space. Like, I used to always be trying to fill the space with new calls and new potential clients. And when the calendar was empty, it used to bring up anxiety in me, right? And what I decided was, good, I want the space to be there. I want this anxiety to come up. Because the mind's like, well, how am I going to pay rent? Is there enough money coming in? Like, what if Amanda leaves you? Amanda's my girlfriend. What if she leaves you because you're not providing? Good, want it to come up. I sat in the emotion and going, that's not me. These stories are not me. Let me be present with this energy from the past, this static that's in my nervous system that's trying to come out, that's trying to be released. But I was so busy, I couldn't give it the space to be released until I finally did. And there was this period in 2021 during COVID where I just let the space be there. And as my nervous system unwound itself, I released a lot of this fear. Money started to flow in. I remember my grandfather passed away at the time, and it was a big loss for me. But a couple of months after his passing, I found out that he left an inheritance for me. And it was this validation that said, hey, keep going, keep making content. Trust the money will flow in. I kept making content during this time and posting every single day. And as I went deeper into this process of relaxing, unwinding, settling my nervous system, coming back to the truth. And the truth was, I got to create the meaning. I decided the meaning, which was, hey, you know what? I have enough. I'm more than enough right now. I'm worthy, I'm chosen, right? And the reprogramming of the nervous system through sitting in that frequency every single day and then making content and moving from this place of now I'm playful. Now things are happening. Over a period of time, my content started to go viral. My content started to get some traction on TikTok and Instagram. And what I soon realized was 6 to 12 months later, when my business hit another peak, all these old patterns tried to come back in. I thought, hey, that was once was enough. Cool, I cleared the patterns from the nervous system. Sweet, I never have to experience that again. I'll be enough forever. But what ends up happening as an entrepreneur is like when you hit a new level or you change your environment and you go somewhere else and you forget or you neglect or you fall asleep at the wheel, all these old patterns try to come back in and pull you back to the familiar, the safe, and the comfortable, which for me was overwork, overdo it, overtrain, overprepare, be in my head, and start judging myself when I wasn't performing. So you know this. You know this is going to happen. I know this is going to happen. So when you're progressing and growing as an entrepreneur, when you're in anxiety and overwhelm and exhaustion, they're the times you celebrate. They're the times you go, oh shit, this must mean I'm growing. There's some serious transcending about to happen right now. There's a serious up level about to happen right now. Otherwise, these things wouldn't be coming up. And your decision in those moments is to decide, am I going to go back to my old ways of worrying and doubting and overworking to avoid feeling the shame and anxiety that's in my body? Or am I going to just stop and go into the space and be like, let me settle myself down. Let me breathe, make some sound. Whew. Oh yeah, I'm in it right now. This energy is heavy. Can I be in that? And relax. And ride the wave for a moment. And when the nervous system has ridden that wave and the emotion has been processed, you then come back to a state of neutrality, and that's when you layer on the truth. You're the source of all that is. I'm a child of God. And if I'm a child of God, there is always enough. I always have it. I'm always provided for. And then as you layer on those truths, your nervous system starts to vibrate. It starts to synchronize to this place of enough and abundance and joy and freedom and love. It synchronizes to that. And then all of a sudden you act from that place. And now you're in a new timeline. You're on a new level that people feel, that people respond to. Things start to flow into your world that you couldn't even comprehend before because you couldn't see it. You weren't on the frequency to see it. In my case, I started to travel to amazing environments, traveling all over the world and going, holy crap, it can't get any better than this. But it does. It just keeps getting better. And it gets better when you're in the place of ease and flow. It should be easy, my friend. This process that I'm explaining to you, notice how it's not a strategy to market yourself a certain way or to build the funnel the right way or to run sales calls the right way. There's no strategy in this. This is uncomfortable, that's for sure. But through doing the discomfort of facing and confronting these old limiting stories and emotions as they come up, the process of taking action and achieving the result gets to be easy. There gets to be ease, joy, and lightness in what you do. And what I found when I move from that place, all the results show up and I go, wow, that was easy. But when I'm trying to force and push from this old programming and this old energy, that's when I feel like I'm running uphill. That's when I feel like, fuck, I'm exhausted. That's when I feel like nothing seems to be happening right now. I'm putting in all this work, but nothing's happening. That's because this signal is incoherent, right? So it's this refining, cleaning up of your energetic signal, which is made up of your nervous system, your emotions, your thoughts, your perceptions, your memories, your beliefs, all of it. Like fucking lineages of scarcity and doubt that's been passed down from your grandparents that's still living on in your cells, in your DNA, that you are processing and clearing right now when you untangle yourself from those old stories and operating from those old programming. As you start to do that, it gets easier and easier and easier. You get to decide it's easy. Because why not? Why are we making it harder for ourselves when it doesn't need to be? So I told you I would get this in at least 15 minutes. Coming up to that mark now. So what I would suggest for you from here is start to map some of these patterns that show up in your life when things get intense or you start to go through a period of growth. Map the patterns, how you react, the things you reach for, the addictions or dependencies that sometimes come in that numb or suppress your emotional state. And then decide that when that happens, this means that I'm about to transcend, that I'm about to grow. And when that happens, you're going to commit to sitting in the space. Like I said, breathing, making sounds, moving the body, allowing yourself to be patient with this energy that's trying to come up and out. Again, having some support really speeds this process up, having some guidance in the form of a coach. And I'm not just saying that to plug my own coaching or my own men's group. It could be with anyone, but a coach who knows somatic work and knows how to work with the body and help you move through these deeper layers. I run men's groups to help guys do this in a group setting, and I do one-on-one as well. Again, check the link in the description if you want support with that. But the point goes, get a support system in your life, because when you do, when someone else is holding that space for you, they can help you see, oh shit, I'm fucking stuck and I'm caught up in this old story that I've been running. I didn't even realize. When someone else is shining the light on those things for you, two minds are better than one. they can help snap you out of an old pattern or timeline a lot quicker sometimes than you just like sitting in meditation for hours, because you don't even realize it's happening on the subconscious level. You can't even see how it's associated. You've associated yourself with some old story. That's why coaching has been such an pivotal part of my process in growing my own business at my own pace, not rushing, trying to like scale for the sake of scaling, but I'm growing at my own pace because I don't want to compromise my peace and my joy, and in turn my relationships and my health from that, right? So most of the time it's just like, slow down, bro. Just fucking slow down. Where are you in a rush to get to? And in my case, once I started making over 250K a year in my business, I was like, this is a fucking awesome life. You know, not too much changes between now and when I'm making $1 million. Maybe I'm driving a nicer car and a nicer house, but I'm really fulfilled with this life. So why am I rushing? What am I in a rush to get to? Just slow down and go at a pace that feels congruent, that allows me to stay in alignment with myself. Because in doing so, I'm way more attuned to the path that God wants me to walk, the direction or the places God wants me to go, the people I'm meant to meet. You miss all of that when you're so fixated on a certain outcome and you just fucking pile drive your way through to try and get there. You miss all these little ways that life's trying to move you, or God's trying to move you in different directions. Anyway, commit to this process, my friend. I don't want you sacrificing your relationships or your health to grow your business and make a lot of money. I want you to have a lot of fun along the way. It gets to be easy and light and joyful if you take a lot of these things on board. All right, we'll leave it there. Peace.